As my due date drew closer, one question kept resounding in my mind. Where will this baby pop out from? Like I didn't know the answer already. However, I didn't know the amount of pain I was about to face.
I didn't even have the chance to choose whether I wanted epidural or not. I didn't get any epidural. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be just you guys my traumatic birth story. So let's just get into it. My expected or my estimated due date was supposed to be the 9th, I think the 9th and 10th of August. So my friend was planning a pregnancy shoot and she's like I should come with her. I didn't really want to get a pregnancy shoot done because I have pictures on my phone already and that works for me. She's like, okay, I should just come with them. I'm like, okay, cool. And this was supposed to happen on the 6th of August. Right. Now, on the 5th of August, I had another friend here and we made abacha and we had abacha that day. And I was just gisting her randomly, like, do you know that they don't put potash in, so a potash account in abacha for pregnant women because you can just lose your baby or you can give birth on the spot if you're almost due. And she's like, oh, she's never heard anything like that. And that's how that gist ended, right? So the next day being the 6th of August, I started having this weird tummy pain around 10 a.m. And I'm like, oh, food poisoning. It started very mild. And next thing, it started getting worse, like bit by bit, it started getting worse. I'm like, I am so sure it's this food. So my husband took me to the hospital. We got there and they checked and they're like, oh, they checked if I was dilated. And the funny thing is, we didn't even go there for like, oh, she's in labor or whatever. We went there for, oh, she's having tummy pain. Can you guys check what's wrong? And they're like, you're 1 centimeter dilated. Nothing is going on with you. You're okay. Blah blah blah. And they're like, for you to come back to the hospital, it's either your water has broken or you see blood. Right? That's what they told me. And they gave me painkillers. So we took the painkillers and went home because they're like, you can't stay here. Cool. We went back home. And this happened around like, let's say 10, 11, right? So we got back home and I slept for a bit. And then I wake up to the most intense pain ever. My tummy was rolling. I cannot quantify this pain. I can't explain it. Like, nobody can ever tell you how much pain this thing is. You have to feel it. Like, there's no book you can read. There's no story you will hear that would explain what labor is. Like, the contractions is hell. Anyway, I didn't even know that was in labor. That's the crazy thing, right? I thought it was just tummy pain of some sort. Even after we had gone to the hospital and we had come back, I wasn't even thinking, babe, you're in labor. I, that is very crazy. I did not know shit, right? I didn't know anything. Anyway, the pain got worse. Like, it was really bad. And my friends had already gone for the shoots, right? I think they went out of town or something for the shoot already. And I was screaming, I was shouting, I was begging my husband to help me. And this kind of thing, like, what could he really do to help me? There's no amount of massage, there's no amount of sorry that could make me feel better. I was literally dying. I was rolling on the floor. It was a lot of pain. I cannot tell you how much pain it was. Anyway, so I entered the bathtub, I sat, and then my husband turned the shower on, and the water was just pouring on me. I felt relief, like I was feeling better in that position, and I slept off for a bit. And when I woke up again, I was always waking up with so much pain, and I woke up and I was screaming. I told my husband, call my friend, call Lucy, call Chima, and then he called them. I was shouting at them, I was like, guys, come and take me to the hospital. I'm dying. This pain is too much. I can't take it. Please come. I want to say that I cried, but tears didn't come out from my eye. I was just like, I was wailing. I'm like, please come and take me to the hospital. And thankfully, they had already wrapped up whatever they were doing, so they were coming back already. And they're like, okay, they're coming, they're coming. And that's how Lucy got back. And then we rushed to the hospital. While we were going, I was like, Lucy, enter all the bumps on the road. Because once we enter any bump, I'll feel relief. So we're just bumping, 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 bumping. Pregnancy is so weird. Like, the craziest things will make you feel comfort and relief. Anyway, that's how we got to the hospital. And when we got there, the doctor checked to see, how dilated I was. And I was already 8 centimeter dilated by the time we got there. It was almost time to go. So I didn't even have the chance to choose whether I wanted epidural or not. I didn't get any epidural. So this was like no medication, no nothing. They could not give me epidural. So for me to have gotten the epidural, I have to not be in so much pain to be able to take it because I have to stay still. And I wasn't staying still. I was literally dying. That's how they stay setting up. Rushed me to the room where I was going to have my baby, and everything was set. It was a lot. I I was on the bed, and the doctor was like, "We'll tell you when to push." The only thing on my mind was, I need this baby to leave my tummy. Like, this pain is too much. I cannot take it. I just want this baby to, what do I have to do to get this baby out now? Like, that was the only thing I was thinking of. Nothing else mattered to me. My friend kept asking me, why are you not shouting at your husband? Why are you not hitting him? Why are you not? In my mind, I'm like, will he help my baby come out? Like, I wasn't even thinking of anybody or anything at that point. It was just me. I'm like, I need this thing to be done. So next thing, they're counting down for me. 1, 2, 3, push. Push. And then I push with all my strength. We kept going back and forth with this push, push, push thing for a while, and the baby wasn't coming out. And next thing, I heard them saying that my uterus was blocking the baby from coming out, right? So the doctor had to put her hand to push, like to push whatever it is down so my baby's head could come out and all of that. It was, I just think about it. Just think about it now. I don't know how I'm feeling. Anyway, I was in labor for, I think we got there around 3 and I gave birth around past 7-ish. So that's how many hours? I think that's like 4 hours. That's how long I was doing this push, push, push thing. It got to the point where I just told my friend, please pray for me because I'm tired. And this baby has to come out now. Like, I don't have any more strength to do this push, push, push. I am tired. This baby has to come out. And I think that was like 2 pushes, if that makes sense. That was 2 pushes away from when my boy came out. And it was like, push, I pushed. And next thing, my husband, oh my God, I can see his head. Yeah, you can see his head. His head is coming out. And so that's how like the baby came out. And they put him on my body. And I was so happy. I'm like, oh, my baby, and all of that. So they had to rush me to do a surgery. I couldn't go home that day. We had to stay in the hospital that day and go home the next day because they needed to be sure that I could pee. And I could not pee for a bit. Like, I could not pee for a while. I kept trying and it wasn't working, right? So finally, I peed and my baby pooped, that first poo. And they're like, okay, you guys are good to go home and everything. They did a whole lot of tests on him. They checked for blah, 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 everything. And they found out I had jaundice. So they're like, let's check this jaundice well. And so they did like extra tests for the jaundice. And we're clear to go home like the next day. So we go home. Everything cool, everything nice. And next thing we got a call that your baby's jaundice is really high. He has to come back. You have to bring him back. We have to put him under that blue light. I'm like, okay, let's do that. And when we go home, I had this bad migraine. It was terrible. Like, my entire head was hurting. I couldn't see properly. I couldn't even carry my head up. This is how I was walking the entire time. And I had to take my son to the hospital the next day. Have in mind that this country is where you can, like, they need to be sure that you're fit enough to take care of your child. When I got to the hospital that day, my friend dropped me and I went upstairs with my baby. I was looking sick, first of all, and I could not even look the doctor in the eye to even have a conversation. I was like this, I was hurting. I was trying so hard to look like I was okay, but I was not. Like, I was not okay, and I was scared in my mind that this people should not think that I won't be able to take care of my child because here the government owns the baby. I'm like, God, I don't want people to keep this boy for too long. Like, I want to go home with my baby. So I had to call my friend Chima. I'm like, Chima, please come and help me. And she came. She's the one that was talking to the doctors because I was like this. I think I sat on the floor at some point because I was gone. She was talking to the doctors on my behalf. She would ask me any questions she needed to ask me. She helped me do the whole thing. And that's how my son got admitted into the NICU, and they put the light on him and everything. And after that was done, she took me to the ER. I got to the ER and I think I have a picture. I'm going to check and find. I spent, I think, 4 hours or 4 to 7 hours. They finally attended to me. they gave me. They checked me, did a lot of blood work, and they're like, everything is fine. Like, we don't think anything is wrong with you. In retrospect, my body had not fully processed what it had gone through, like giving birth and all of that. So everything just affected me in my head, right? And they gave me painkillers. I took the painkillers. I wasn't feeling any better, to be honest. I actually really just wanted to go home because the hospital was too full. There was nowhere there was no bed space. I was on a chair and it was so cold, right? I just wanted to go home and lie on my bed. Like, I'm going to be fine at the end of the day. And they gave me the drugs. I took all of that. I went back home that day and I wasn't better. I wasn't feeling better. It was bad because my husband resumed the work. We got back. So I was home alone and I was in that much pain. And we still had to go see my son every other day. So I think that they increased the time that my son spent in the hospital because I didn't look like I was okay. Because I remember when I got there the second time, the doctor, the nurse that was attending to us was like, "Are you the mom?" I said, "Yes, I'm the mom." She said, "Oh, I thought you were still in the ER." I'm like, "No, I'm not in the ER. I'm here. I'm fine. I'm doing okay." You know, I didn't just want them to see me like I wasn't going to be able to take care of my son because that's not the case. My son spent approximately 5 days in the hospital, and in that 5 days, I got better, thankfully. So by the time we got back home, I was good. Like, I was in a good place. I was fine. I was able to take care of him and all of that. And I just want to ask you mothers, like, you guys do it again, like give birth over and over and over. Our grandmothers, our mothers did 5, 6. Our grandmothers did 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, how did you guys do it? Women are so strong, to be honest, because the pain that I felt, I cannot explain it. I don't think I can ever explain it. Like I said earlier, like, nobody can tell you, nobody can ever explain how painful it is until you are there. Nobody. You need to experience it yourself for you to understand what we're talking about. It was painful. So yeah, that's how, we got back home with our baby. I'm just really thankful for my friends that helped throughout, taking us to the hospital and just being with me when I needed help. And guys, that is the story. That's the story of how I gave birth. I really wish that I had videos and pictures and all of that. But when you're in that position, when I was in that position, nothing like taking of pictures, like it didn't even come to my mind to take pictures, to make videos and whatnot. Nah. I just wanted to get it over and done with. I needed my baby to come out of my tummy. I needed to be done with it. That was the only thing on my mind. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to share with you this story of how I gave birth to my beautiful baby boy. Thank you for watching and thank you for staying with me, guys.